Hi, I'm currently working in Delta Airlines as a business analyst and a Scrum Master for a REST API team. So, when I started for this role in this position, I was hired as a senior BA position, a technical BA position, because I was working more into the technical analysis and technical BA. So, I was hired as a REST API BA. But when I get into the position, what I noticed is the team actually is a technical team, a pure technical team of REST API developers, and they need more of a Scrum Master role than a BA role. Hence, the reason was because in I was part of we are part of Fly Delta mobile app, so we call ourselves as a mobile team, and in the mobile team we have around 8 pods, and each individual pods deal with different projects, and each pod will have a Scrum Master, a BA, a UI developer, and then a backend API developer. So, but our because the backend has to be ready before the app developer can start. So all the backend developers, the API developers are made as a team and made as a different team. So they don't belong to the individual pods. Hence, they are part of our team, which is called as REST API team, and that is where I was hired for. And when I came into the team was an existing, very experienced team, but then Agile was new to the team, and there was no process. It was not organized, and there was no process involved, and it was very chaotic. Chaotic in the sense everybody was so busy all the time, and it was very hectic and very busy, and everybody seems to be working all the time. But then when you look at it, we don't feel accomplished because there is nothing to measure what the team was doing. So when I came in, I felt we need to measure the time, like how the developers are involved and what they're doing. So what I did was I asked each developer, whatever they're doing, just involve me into their chats, involve me into their discussions, whatever they've been having, because each one is involved in a project, as well as they support the environment, support the releases and everything. But there is no task created for other things. The task is only created for a project. But if they are helping with the troubleshooting an issue, an environment issue or a defect, they are not assigned any defect or anything like that. So when I came in, I said, if you're spending more than 30 minutes, then let me create a task for you, because you're spending that time for that task, for that issue. And hence, this way I created so many tasks for each individual. For like when I started, we had like 12 members here and 2 people offshore, and I started creating tasks for all of them, and we use Jira for that. And the other project teams used to have they use their own Jira boards, but we don't. And when our team member works on their item, they have to see it on their board as well. So it was a bit tricky for us to have 2 tickets, like to have a same ticket. Like we want to duplicate the we want to avoid the duplication of the effort to create duplicate tickets. So what I did was come up with a different view, a different approach, where other people, like our team member has a ticket where it can be seen on our board as well as into the other board. uh, I asked my manager to get me an access as an admin, where I can create new things, so that I can customize what is needed for this team. So we came up, and then I created in Jira. So that is how I learned more about Jira, and use that a stream, a different. It's not a label, but it's called as a stream, and I use that for REST API. And when I attach it, the ticket can flow into, and I customized our Kanban board such that the stream is API, and I can move the things around. And even the columns for in the Jira are different, like in QAT, in DVL, or QAT staging. So the columns are different for our team specifically. So that is how I did. And I used Jira for many things, like added new releases to the backend releases. Fixing version was different, so I added monthly releases to it to see and added all the tasks that are going into that release. Doesn't matter if it's a content change or a AEM change, I still add a ticket for it and then plug it into that release, so that when I click on the release, I know what all items are going into that release. So this is how I use Jira, because it's just like one man army for me, because in Jira I can see everything, what a developer has worked on and which release it's going into and what are the issues we have found in that release, defects and all that. And it actually helped me to measure where the time is going for each developer. Is he spending more time in solving the environment issues, or is he helping more of regression defects, or is he working on the new projects? So this is how I did analysis and said, so this much of time is spent on these things, and this much of time is spent on these tasks. So that really helped us to measure and to organize our team. And then we also use, when we get the defects, we actually have app development team and the backend teams, and REST API team is like is a middleware, or middle is in the middle. And we see that what is so we use Postman to send a request and check the response coming back and see what is coming in the response. And if that response matches to what the app is expecting, then it would work. And if the response is different, then it would break. So this is how we see. We use Postman to check the response, the JSON response, and to see what values are expected. And if something is not coming back in the right way, then we reach out to the backend teams, because we have multiple backend teams, just not one. We have, for each page on the app, we have a different teams. Like shopping is a different team, cart is a different team, products is a different team. So based on where the issue is, then we reach out to those teams and contact them, and then be a mediator between the app teams and the backend teams and try to resolve those issues. So that really helped us. And I would say this position really interests me, because this is what exactly I was doing, and I started doing like 2 years back. I started Delta 2 years back, and when I started, it was a fresh team. And when I joined, they said they wanted to hire a BA role, but they don't have any projects or anything. But each of the team member was participating in different teams, different projects. So it was handling multiple projects at the same time. So I was part of. When I came in, then I understood what does the team need from me. Like, the team needs help, but what help does it need? Does it need? It needed the resource planning, the allocation, defect management, because when we used to get tons of defects, and the regression happens, and then we used to be bombarded with all the defects, but the expectation was to fix all the defects. And I would no, we could not fix all of the defects at one time. We need to prioritize the defects, and what can go into this release, we have to prioritize. So I used to talk to the business and negotiate with them. Is this a critical defect? Is this a showstopper? Do you need this fix in this release? Can it wait for the next release? And then also understand between the backend releases as well as the app releases, because you need to understand the dependencies between the app release and the backend release, because when the backend goes live, it is available right away. But when the app goes live, the app is not released in the app stores, so it takes time for the apps, and the users will have to download the app, and then that's when they would call the backend. So it has to be compatible with the new app as well as the old app. So you have to have understanding of all of that, and then arrange or plan the releases in such a way. So for each project, I used to do all of that, analyze each project and see what requirements are needed and which release can it go into. Can the app wait until the backend release goes in, or is there a backward compatibility or a forward compatibility issues? So bring that to the table and discuss all of that, and then bring in the QAs to have them do the regression testing and the backward compatibility testing and all that. So, and this position really interests me because this is something what I've done already, and this is what I've been doing, like being a Scrum Master role and a BA role, like switching hats, and sometimes helping the developer, like analyzing where the defect is, like way to fix the issue, because it's just not putting the code in it, but to analyze takes more time. So that's why it's like a technical BA, able to understand and also prioritize and able to see what is best for the team. So that is what is needed for the team. So it doesn't matter which role you are, you have to switch to what is required for the team. So that is what interests me in this role as well. I hope I would be able to fit into this role. Thank you.